aosu sent me this thing, 3K solar wall light cam pro. It's got a solar panel on top, and then inside there's a battery that keeps it going. And then in here there's a lamp, and it turns on automatically at night time, or in the daytime you could turn it on and off with a switch in the app. Turns out these are for enemas. But they work really well for blowing the dust. The pack came with 4 screws. And then this fellow, the solar panel camera, which is activating as I speak to it. It just snaps on. Now it looks lovely. Discreet mounting and whatnot. Can you see the problem? If I get my hand in behind that, I could just pull that off the wall. I can get a grip on it. I don't want to because I don't want to damage it. I'm going to damage the plastic. See, it's already loose. Let's have a look at what I did just there. Yeah, it's already loose. What are you going to do? So that's it. Let's get an SD card into it. I still think even though you could rip it off the wall with your bare hands, I still think it's got an application. At this location, nobody's going to try and rip it off the wall. There's no passers-by. The issue is on a front door on a busy street. Somebody walking home might just think, ooh, fancy me one of them. You know, you've got quite a distance there. Really what it needs is like a plastic shroud or a bit of trim coming around it to stop you sliding it up or pulling it, getting a grip on it. It wouldn't take much, really. Just a little frame, a plastic trim piece that snaps on that way, but they haven't given you that. I guess when you compare it to security cameras, you can just grab them and rip them off. They're only held on with a few screws too. The difference, of course, is this is meant to be mounted roughly at eye level, 2 to 3 meters. Now that's, 3 meters means you can't reach it, but it also means if someone comes up to press on your doorbell, then they'll get a good view in their eyes or the top of their head, depending on where they're standing. So this is me standing exactly in front of that camera, eye level, just like that. But if the camera was up a bit higher, like a meter higher, then it would be a different position, clearly. So it might work okay if it was up a bit higher at 3 meters and you couldn't reach it. You could put it on timber, like up there, and it would screw straight in. That was a lot easier. I did that yesterday on a door frame. You'll see the night vision of that shortly. But straight out of the box, that's what you get. Click it together. The solar panel's already installed. It's just good to go. So a brand new little SD card. Inside, you've got to pull that up with your finger. Twist it around, slide the card in with the gold facing you, and then it should be good to go. Let's go into settings and have a look. Right, there's a setup in here somewhere. Quick start, is it that one? Quick start, continue, local storage, so that's the one that you have to check to use the SD card. Local storage right there, and that's it. It says there's no memory card. Continue. Here we go. Storage. Detected storage card insertion in the device. Existing data 0.1 total space. So format memory card. Format memory card. Let's go for it. 64 gig card. Done. Continue. Skip. Detect signal strength. Wi-Fi very strong. Install. I've done that. Continue. Skip. So I've been faffing around with it for quite a few minutes, and having put an SD card into the side of it and taken the SD card out and put it into the computer, it stores a file for every notification that would come to the phone. So on the computer it gives me SD storage device, that's my thing, data, DCIM, go in there, year, month, it builds up the folders that way, and then it gives me a load of events. Let's try that, see what's in there. You've got a lot of these media files that are the large capacity files. I don't think I can do anything with them. .media. Don't think my machine will play them. No, I don't think so. I'll try that. Can't open this file. That's where you get to if you try and review it on the computer. Unless you know .media file, I'll look that up. So according to the internet, mostly Reddit, those .media files cannot be opened without a convoluted process for decryption and conversion, which I'm not interested in. So you got to work through the app. Again, that's another thing where you're tied to the aosu app. It is what it is. Now, in the phone, I'll show you the events, if I can. So with the SD card in, I'm getting events that seem to be about as long as they are, and up to a minute. It supports up to 128 gig card, I think. So having a memory card in the side of it means I won't have to pay for the storage fees, and that's really all I'm after with this. So you gotta buy a plan, that's the bit I don't like. So I haven't tested it, but if you use the aosu app and pay for their premium product where they store the stuff in the cloud. I don't know, can you download it or not? If you know, tell me in the comments below. So now I've taken the SD card out of the machine. It says video loading and it's struggling with that. Let's go into live just to see what it's doing. That's what it's doing now. Let's go back to events. It should all look the same. It's giving detect only, no event recording. Motion detected. So without the SD card in, it'll give you the times, but nothing more. It still just tries to sell you that extra protection. So let's take a look at what's going on outside right now, and I just want to get a view of how good the zoom is, because the issue I have here is that a 3K camera is all well and good, but really it's only good as the playback, and if the playback can only be through the app, then we're going to get stuck with that because you can't really do any more with it. So let's go into landscape, and this might look a bit naff on the screen, but yeah, you can see like loads of stuff in my garden, but it's not crystal clear, and that's, you know, the phone could make a sharper image of that if it had the information. So this is going from the camera to the Wi-Fi to the internet to their app and then back to my phone through a different internet, so it's compressed at some level. So it's supposed to be 3K, which, you know, maybe it is, but what can you do with that? That's what we can see here. At 3K, there's a little head moving in the background there. That's pretty cool. You can watch people doing things. There's a little head sitting up on a ride-on lawnmower pretending to play tractor. There you go. I have a feeling that it has the capacity to record a much sharper image, but because you can't look at the image on the SD card on your computer, and you also can't log in on a HD screen on your computer. I've tried that to go in through a different portal on the internet. There doesn't seem to be an aosu Life portal or something like that, except through the app. So you're kind of stuck with it. That's what you've got. Let's see what the night mode looks like last night then. So it's now pitch black outside, and you can see the infrared does a pretty good job. You can still see the bicycle over there on the right. You can mostly see the vines in the top half of the image. That's the way the camera is trained, but you can see the gate there. Let's turn the light on. Instantly we're getting pretty decent color. It gets darker the further away you go, but you're getting really good color. So I can zoom in right up to the gate. You can see the patio flag. Pretty good image, pretty sharp. And there it is, back adjusting to infrared, which is also, it's a pretty sharp image for infrared. I'm pretty pleased with that. I've been wondering about use cases for this. The one I thought was sticking on the front of my house to look at packages and stuff like that, but really there's so many interactions through the app, notifications on your phone and that it would get a bit overwhelming really. I guess you could silence the notifications, but then the whole benefit of it is kind of negated. Just on the side of the screen, to the red, just at the red door, my phone's moving up and down. It's detected that. I think it could come in handy as a portable camera to use when you're camping or traveling or stuff like that, as a wildlife camera. There's loads of other options for it. But the other thing I've used it for is just watching my kids playing in the garden instead of, you know, if you're inside cooking or something like that, you can watch them. So let's just try this here. Put my thumb in, push that tab, lift it up, and it comes off the wall just like that. So you don't even have to grab it to pull it off. It is very easy to remove from the wall. That's, you know, the security issue I have with this thing. I'm pointing it out. You want to be an informed person. The other thing you can do, if the solar panel won't generate enough electricity, if it's not in the sun, there's an extension lead that you can remove this solar panel, put on a different bracket somewhere else in the sun. I think it's 2 meters long, and you put that cable into the back of it, but you've got to hide the cable somewhere. The other thing they haven't mentioned in any of the instructions is that this runs on a USB-C cable. So the solar panel just puts a USB-C cable in there, presumably roughly 5 volts. If you just plug that into any USB-C power feed, it should power it from the mains. Haven't tried that, but I can't see why it wouldn't work. So these things run at about, I think, £99 discounted at the moment. Check out the links in the description below, because that's where the most up-to-date information will be. aosu Life, have a look online. You've seen what I thought of it today. I think it's okay, but you're kind of caught into that cloud storage issue. I don't know if you can download HD from the cloud. If you do, tell me in the comments below. That's probably where they're going to get you for the premium, but I don't know if that's so. If you've enjoyed this video, give us a like. I don't do many product reviews, so you could tell me if this is the kind of video you'd like to see. It's been a really dedicated video, and I get the product, but I don't really get any fee for it. I might set up affiliate marketing with aosu. I don't know, haven't done that yet. There'll be a link below if there is. I'll get a cut from that if that is so. Tell me what you think. I'd appreciate it. Tell me if you know that there's a better one out there, recommend it in the comments, or if you've had great success or negative issues with one of these, because it helps everybody. It's a real review. I'm not getting paid really, and I end up with this camera that I've ended up paying £11 for an SD card. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe and whatnot. See you later.